We hear about humanoid robots, super intelligent AI, rockets to Mars, and they all sound like these separate sci-fi dreams. But what if they're not? What if they're all just pieces of one single, massive blueprint for the future of humanity? Well, today, we're going to piece together Elon Musk's interconnected vision, step by ambitious step. Now, this quote, it sounds like a wild claim about a product, right? But for Musk, Optimus the robot, it's so much more than that. It's the key that unlocks everything else. Think of it as the first and maybe the most critical piece of this entire puzzle we're about to explore. So, where does this grand vision begin? It all starts right here, on the ground, with a challenge that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a movie: building a true general-purpose humanoid robot. Okay, so you might be asking, why a humanoid robot? And the logic is actually surprisingly simple. We built our entire world for humans. So if you build a robot that's shaped like us, it can immediately navigate our world. It can use our tools, open our doors, work in our factories, without us having to redesign a single thing. It's designed for universal compatibility right out of the box. The world is its factory. All right, but how in the world do you even start to tackle a project this huge? Well, Musk boils it all down to what he calls the three hard things, the three core problems that nobody has managed to solve all at once. First, giving it hands that can actually work like ours. Second, giving it an AI brain that can truly understand reality. And third, figuring out a way to build them not by the dozen, but by the millions. And out of those three big challenges, one of them stands out as the real beast. Musk says the true engineering battle isn't about the legs or the body, it's all about the hands. He basically describes our own hands as these impossibly complex machines perfected over millions of years. And just trying to copy them, that's the single biggest hardware problem they face. And this slide really just nails the problem, doesn't it? We're talking about a hand that needs the brute force to swing a baseball bat, but also the delicate, precise touch to thread a needle. It has to be both powerful and sensitive. It's this incredible, versatile instrument that is just ridiculously hard to build from scratch. Look, building one amazing robot is cool, but it's basically just a museum piece. The real goal here is mass adoption, and that's where this number comes in, $20,000. That's the target price. I mean, think about it. That's cheaper than a lot of new cars. If they can hit that price point, this technology wouldn't just change a few jobs. It would fundamentally rewrite our entire economy. That's the end game. Okay, so you've got this perfect robotic body, but without a brain, it's just an empty shell, right? To make it truly useful, it needs a mind. And this is where the blueprint really starts to accelerate. We're shifting gears from hardware to this absolutely exponential explosion in artificial intelligence. And to power this new level of intelligence, Tesla is not messing around with off-the-shelf parts. Nope, they're building their own custom silicon from the ground up. And just look at this comparison. Their next-gen AI Phi chip isn't just a little bit better than the current one, it is a massive, intentional leap forward in every single way that counts. Compute, memory, bandwidth, you name it. But here's where it gets really interesting. Those individual specs, they're impressive, sure, but they don't even tell the whole story. The real magic happens because they're designing the hardware and the AI software together, so they can get rid of all the bottlenecks. It's kind of like building a custom engine and a custom race car body together, instead of just dropping a big engine into a normal car. That synergy, that perfect fit, that's what leads to this staggering 40 times performance boost in the real world. It's a huge deal. And all this new hardware, well, it's fueling some predictions that are frankly mind-bending. The forecast is that by next year, AI could be smarter than any single human at any specific thing. And then, by around 2030, the prediction is that AI will be smarter than the sum of all human intelligence. Just let that sink in for a second. All right, so let's just imagine this for a moment. You have a world with a billion of these super smart robots, and they're all learning from this one central super AI. How do you keep them all connected, all the time, everywhere on the planet? Well, that's the next piece of the puzzle. This is where the blueprint expands from Earth up into the sky, and where SpaceX comes into the picture. Yeah, the vision for Starlink is basically to kill the cellular dead zone forever. To beam high-speed internet from space directly to the smartphone in your pocket. It's a two-part plan, really. First, you've got to work with the phone companies to upgrade the chips in the phones. And second, you have to build and launch a whole new generation of satellites that can talk to those phones. The goal is to get this started in just a couple of years. and the beast of a rocket that's designed to launch this huge satellite network and a whole lot more is Starship. I mean, just look at the chart. We're talking about a rocket that can haul more than double the payload of even the Falcon Heavy. But the real game changer here isn't just the size. It's the goal of making it fully and rapidly reusable. That's the holy grail of rocketry. But, and this is a big but, getting to full reusability is, as Musk puts it, one of the hardest engineering problems humanity has ever tried to solve. And while there are literally thousands of challenges, there's one that stands above all the rest as the single biggest technical hurdle. And that hurdle is the heat shield. To put it in perspective, the space shuttle's heat shield needed something like 9 months of intense repair after every single flight. The dream for Starship is to have a system of thousands of tiles that can survive that fiery, brutal re-entry and be ready to fly again fast. It's a material science problem that, to date, no one has ever solved. Okay, let's step back. We've got a world with intelligent humanoid robots powered by a superintelligence, all connected by a global satellite network. This really brings up the big question, right? Why? What is the ultimate point of all this incredible technology? Well, to really get the why behind this whole blueprint, you have to understand Musk's diagnosis of where our civilization is at right now. And honestly, it's a pretty controversial and deep concern that's driving him. He sees things like declining birth rates as symptoms of a bigger problem, a society that, in his view, has lost its will to live, its optimism for the future. So, what's the antidote to that kind of pessimism? For him, it's a huge shift in our perspective. He advocates for what he calls a philosophy of curiosity. The idea is to stop focusing only on our problems here on Earth and instead embrace this grand, optimistic vision of humanity becoming a spacefaring species, exploring the stars. And this philosophy, it isn't just about, oh, space is cool. It leads to a very practical, even if it sounds audacious, goal. He calls it planetary redundancy. Think of it like this. It's creating a backup drive for humanity, a self-sustaining city on Mars that would act as the ultimate insurance policy, just in case something catastrophic ever happens here on Earth. And the timeline to get this insurance policy in place, it's just breathtakingly ambitious. The Earth and Mars align for a launch window only once every 2 years. The plan is to use each of those windows to send an exponentially growing fleet of starships. The belief is that within just 10 to 15 of these launch cycles, so we're talking about 25 to 30 years, we could ship enough stuff to Mars to build a truly self-sustaining civilization. And that really brings us to the final, crucial question that this entire technological blueprint is built around. It's framed as a race against the clock. Musk sees a finite window of opportunity for our civilization to make this leap. So the question isn't just, can we do it? It's, will we do it before that window of opportunity closes for good?
All the news, all the sports, all the words, you can trust the American digital newspaper. It's the best place for business, weather, and travel. So go get your information, baby. The American digital newspaper. You ain't seen none. Big trip, you ain't seen none. I said big trip, yeah, yeah. Hey, the digital news the best, ooh, who the best, ooh, you know who the best is, all my niggas dressed up.